Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Currently airing on The Young and the Restless is Wednesday, April 19, 2023. Nate ends it with Victoria. Nate arranges a surprise, and Ashley lets Tucker down. Ashley arrives at Tucker's suite early in the morning for champagne, and he opens the door for her. She asks Tucker if he has good news regarding Devon and McCall Unlimited as he gives her a red rose. Ashley wants to know everything about how Devon ultimately changed his mind as they toast. Devon has opted to return to Chancellor Winters and doesn't want McCall, according to Tucker. Ashley queries their use of champagne. Since Tucker hasn't given up on becoming the guy she deserves, he hopes they can toast to us. Victoria tries to work in her office, but is interrupted by memories of making out with Nate on the desk. When Audra knocks, she inquires as to the timing. Victoria suddenly shifts into business mode and announces that she and Nate have approved a purchase. Audra wonders precisely when they decided. Victoria replies, yesterday, and explains that she isn't required to be aware of their upcoming meetings at all times. She mentions how Audra is a team player and how she constantly goes above and beyond. Although Victoria values ambition, she values loyalty more. Audra claims she wants to follow Nate's example in this regard. Victoria asks, meaning, as her eyes narrow. Nate, according to Audra, is reportedly working long hours, and all through the night to please Victoria. Where his loyalty lies is clear. Alina is taken aback when Nate meets her at society and says he's taking the day off to spend some time with her. Alina sighs and says fine, but she first wants to know why Nick challenged him the previous evening and why he believes he is driven by power. Are you now prepared to explain what is happening to me? According to Nate, Nick has never been happy that he accepted the position of CEO of Newman Media and thinks he betrayed his family to get it. Alina is aware of that. Nate assumes Nick will deny him the opportunity to show himself. Why? Asks Alina. What took place yesterday? Nate says Nick's emotions are running high because of Phyllis, and he may have heard something at Newman that set him off. Alina replies, like what? Nate is unsure, but Victoria involves him in conversations more frequently than is ideal. Let's talk about you and Victoria, Alina says after realizing his access to Victoria is a problem. Sharon is greeted by Mariah at Crimson Lights and informed that she is stopping by to pick up some snacks and coffee on her way home from Jabba. She's working a few hours now that Diane has been arrested. Despite thinking the whole thing is terrible, Sharon tells Mariah it's okay to put herself first. Abby shows up and embraces Mariah. Wants to meet Area 2. Mariah queries how she is. Since the divorce petition was filed, they haven't communicated. Abby reports that she's doing OK and that she has some news. As she prepares the coffee, Sharon listens. Mariah learns from Abby that she and Dom have relocated to Devon's penthouse. Mariah exclaims, wow, and says it will take her some time to process that. Sharon doesn't appear surprised, as seen by Abby. Sharon hesitatingly says, well, Chance mentioned it. Abby is glad he has someone to talk to because she is aware that they have become friends. Mariah has everyone's back, but this moves too quickly. Though Abby is aware, it feels right. She explains how civilly Chance has handled the situation. He'll act in Dom's best interests, Mariah is confident. Ashley observes that Tucker is handling his rejection well in his suite. McCall acknowledges that Devon's choice really stung and hurt him, but he is pleased for his son and Lily. He commends himself for offering Devon a different option. He likes to believe that is what motivated him to find serenity. I'm proud of that, and I hope you can be proud of me too. At society, Alina tells Nate she has concerns about his dynamic with Victoria, who has a deep-seated craving for power, and he's attempting to prove himself to her. Seeing Nick confront him didn't make her feel any better about whatever is going on at the office. Nate enjoys his career, but he's not obsessed with power. He's just trying to prove he deserves to be there. He recognizes he's been a workaholic recently, and it's taken a toll. Nate explains that lines can get blurred, but I should have set some limits. He assures Alina she's his top priority, and he wants to make things right between them. I missed you, he says, and you deserve better. He swears things will better from now on. Nate kisses her cheek. In Tucker's suite, Ashley points out he didn't hold up his end of the bargain. She knows he tried, but his take on the rejection is just a little too dazzling. Tucker has to respect his position. Despite my best efforts, he just doesn't trust me. I really want you to tell me that's not true for you. Ashley doesn't know how to answer it. Tucker shouts, don't do that. He wants to marry her and be the spouse he ought to have been the first time around because he has opened his heart to her. Tucker sees that she wants it but won't allow herself believe it. Ashley argues, "I can't." She reminds him he did truly horrible, despicable things to her. "He will always have a wandering gaze since it is just who I am. He hid his life with Diane, he hid his life with Audra. Do you consider me to be a fool, Tucker? Do you think I don't know there's a little bit going on between you?" Tucker explains that despite everything, she needs to trust his love for her is sincere. Ashley shrugs and seems emotional. Tucker nods. "Yeah, that's not enough for you, is it?" The redhead gushes while Mariah, Sharon, and Abby at Crimson Lights examine pictures of Area. Sharon tells Abby she's delighted they have some time to talk when she leaves to answer a call. She wants to surprise Mariah and Tessa by throwing them a baby shower. "It's a fantastic concept," says Abby, and she suggests society. "Just let me know when." Nate works at Newman with Audra and Victoria. He made the decision to enter and handle a few things. Victoria glistens. If he has reviewed the audiobook proposal she provided him the previous evening, Audra inquires. He claims he was occupied. The purring Audra says, "Of course." After she leaves, Victoria gives Nate a knowing look and inquires as to his reason for being in the office. Ashley can't tell Tucker that she watches him riding off into the distance from his suite. "You can?" snarls Tucker. You decide against. "You never received any promises from Ashley." "I suppose you didn't," Tucker muses. "When it comes to you, I've been a complete fool. Every time, I've failed. The woman I love no longer loves me in return, and my son no longer wants to interact with me. She is torturing him," he claims, "and playing games with him." He rants that he is done with this self-flagellation exercise. "What does that mean, Tucker?" queries Ashley. After selling his business and leaving this community, Tucker will pick up the phone. With a nod, Ashley says, "Now you're threatening me." Tucker is being honest with her and is baffled by her cold demeanor. "You realize who you are, the sadist." Ashley gives him a sincere thank you for the drink and tells him to take care of himself. She then adjourns. Under his foot, Tucker tramples the rose in agony. Sharon gives Mariah coffee and pastries at Crimson Lights and requests that she kiss Area for her. "Give her a kiss for me as well," Alina says when she appears. Sharon informs Alina about the unexpected baby shower tomorrow at Society as Maria departs. Alina consents to the request. Sharon reflects on Tessa and Maria's unwavering happiness. "That's the way it should be," Alina ponders. If everything is all right, Sharon notices her expression and inquires. Alina enters the patio after stating that she is fine. Victoria at Newman shuts the office door and inquires with Nate about whether he was taking time off due to what transpired between them. He says he was. He needed some time to consider the situation before seeing her. Victoria isn't liking where this is going. Nate says, "We made a mistake." Victoria disagrees. Nate says, "All right, I made a mistake." He's in a committed relationship he values deeply and doesn't want to lose it because he loses control. Victoria queries whether you don't believe it to be more than that at this point. Nate rants that she's attractive, but they were being impulsive. He tells her that Nick tracked him down last night and made all sorts of accusations. He believes that it won't be the last they hear from him. "What do you want?" Tucker asks Audra as he opens the door to his suite. He trampled on a red rose, and Audra remarks that he certainly knows how to make a woman feel welcome. Tucker isn't in the mood to joke around. Audra makes a reference to information just showing up. "Is that it?" groans Tucker. Audra speculates that his most recent effort to court Ashley failed. She was shown the door after Tucker admits she was correct, and he was mistaken. Audra says, "See you around, Tucker." Ashley runs into Abby outside of Society and asks for some mother and daughter time. Abby invites her in, where they spot Victor. He says he's taking a little time for himself after everything that's happened, and invites them to sit down. "We need to discuss something as a family," he declares. It turns out he wants to talk about Abby's new living arrangements. Ashley was surprised, but hopes it all works out. Victor thinks Devon is in a better place now that she's moved in. Ashley adds that he's no longer pursuing McCall. Tucker told her. Audra finds Alina looking distracted on Crimson Light's patio and asks, "Where was your head?" Alina asks if she's seen Nick lately and whether he mentioned being frustrated with Nate. She relays that she found them having a confrontation last night. Nate said it was because Nick had an issue with him since he came on board. Audra observes, "But you're still coming to me looking for answers. So, whatever portion of his story are you doubting?" At Newman, Victoria fumes. "I told Nick this was none of his business." Nate says he accused him of using her for his own agenda. Nate can't afford a similar performance since Elena showed up. He didn't say anything about Victoria this time. Victoria promises that won't happen. Nate says, good, and wants to shut the door on this and pretend it never happened. Victoria asks, do you really think that's possible? At Crimson Lights, Elena believes what Nate told her, but he also swore that work wouldn't get in the way of their relationship and she wouldn't have to worry about Victoria. She's not sure that's the case. Audra shares that their dynamic at the office is as intense as ever. As soon as she has something else to focus on, it will be better for everybody. Elena replies, and by something else you mean JT. Audra offers to track him down since it would be a major win by Newman Media. I won't let you down. Elena thanks her and will touch base later. Once alone, Audra pulls out her phone and says, hey hon, how's my favorite rock turner? She tells the individual she needs to search someone down. The name is JT Hellstrom. At Newman, Victoria tells Nate what's happening between them is happening for a reason. The feelings aren't just going to go away if we ignore them. Nate pulls his hand away from hers and says he disagrees. Victoria respects that, but she knows he'll eventually change his mind. Nate insists he won't. She assures him it won't affect their working relationship. Nate says, then let's get back to business. At Society, Abby muses that Victor's sure left in a hurry. Ashley says there's nothing to worry about. Although she wanted Devin to buy McCall so he could work with his father, she completely understood why he would prefer to stay with Lily. He says he doesn't completely trust Tucker, and Abby concurs. She alludes to setting boundaries, and Ashley assures her she gets the message, and it's not an issue. Tucker opens his door to Victor. He assumes he's still interested in McCall Unlimited. Victor nods, yeah, I want it for Adam. McCall doesn't care what he does with it. He just wants to sell it and get out of town. Victor needles that if he throws in a few extra bucks, will Tucker stay away permanently? Tucker tells him to give him a figure and they'll have a deal. Victor shakes his hand, deal. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and stay with us.